What's going on, everybody? Nazdarachi back again with the Sunday edition of the Relic review here. We have Banner 2 going live for the Of Lies and Love Final Fantasy XIII event. And along with that, we also get our higher difficulty Conquest Raid Dungeon. It's 60 and 200 difficulty, and it's against Sid Reigns. So basically, it's going to be an onslaught of magic damage, and it's a timed battle because he casts Doom on your party at the start of battle. So plan accordingly: magic defense, magic resistance, magic breaks, etc. And you should be able to tackle that one without too much difficulty. Yeah, honestly, I think the Sephiroth one's probably harder, but I haven't tried it yet, so I can't really say for sure. Now, moving on to the meat and potatoes of the episode here, we do have the Relic 2 banner here, and it does introduce the global version of the game's second Ultra Soul Break. Now that item is going to be Convalescence Ultra Soul Break. It is a staff, the Brightwing staff for Vanille here. You got 77 attack, 130 magic, and 165 mind, and that's your augmented stat. There are no bonus effects, sadly, but the Ultra Soul Break itself is pretty dang good, and it is a great one to lead into battle with using Dr. Mog's teachings or Mako Might. Now the Soul Break, what it does here, he temporarily grants all allies Protect Shell, and a barrier that enables them to avoid one future debuff, and automatically heal damage they take for a short time, just up to 2000 HP in total. So definitely a great item to keep Vanille ahead of the game here. It's going to be really useful in higher difficulty and torment dungeons where it'll save you an ability slot potentially with the Protect and Shell as well. This can kind of stack really good with the defensive benefits you get from using a native wall or something like that. So all in all, this I think is a better Ultra Soul Break than Aerith's support Ultra Soul Break, and I'm hoping to get it. Now, I don't have any percent information on the drop rate for it yet because this draw is still pretty fresh, so that information hasn't been generated yet, but I would assume it's between about 1.1% to 0.8% chance for you to pull this item. Moving on, we have a Burst Soul Break for Hope here, Hope's Gloves. You got 24 attack, 28 magic, 94 defense, and 90 resistance, and 19 mind. Now, this does also add a small boost to holy damage with no synergy required, and because it adds attack and magic, this is going to be functional for other characters as well, especially for synergy, and, you know, if you need to boost their holy damage, this would go well with using any of the Excalibur swords in the game that also boost holy damage. You could have some nice little boosts going on. Now the Burst Soul Break itself is Explosive Fist, deals 6 magic, holy, and non-elemental attacks to all targets with a moderate chance to interrupt their pending actions, raise the user's magic a moderate amount and resistance a small amount, and haste and burst mode to the user. Your damage dealt does increase when facing fewer enemies. So this is a fairly good magic and summoning based Burst Soul Break. Buffing the character's magic and resistance is definitely not going to hurt. And your Burst command here, these are going to resemble Golbez and Yuna's Soul Breaks, where Burst Command 1 puts a mark on your character that will enhance the properties of both Burst Commands, but using Burst Command 1 again will consume that mark. So what are the Burst Commands? You got Alexander as a summoning type, dispel all targets with a small chance to slow them. Now that's all that happens when you use it the first time, but it'll grant you the Summon Strike mark. Now if you already have the Summon Strike mark, you deal 4 Summon Magic, Holy, and non-elemental attacks to all targets, and you remove that Summon Strike mark from the user. Divine Judgment deals 4 Magic, Holy, and non-elemental attacks to one target. Now I believe that's all it does. Unless you have Summon Strike, then it will also add a moderate chance to interrupt its pending actions. So I don't have percent chance for what to pull on this item is either, but I would assume that it's around 1.1 to about 1.8% chance for it to drop. Moving forward, we have the Burst Soul Break Meteor Javelin. It's a Flame Fossil Sword for Noel here. 131 attack. And the Burst Soul Break is quite interesting on this one. It is a full break effect with 5 ranged physical attacks to one target, and you get haste and burst mode to the user. As well, the abilities are both support type. Arc Edge, deal physical damage to one target and temporarily lower its attack a large amount. Deal physical damage to one target and temporarily lower its magic a large amount. The reason this is so interesting is because Noel is not a support character at all. He cannot use any support abilities, so this is taking him outside of his archetype and giving him functionality that he normally doesn't have, which is kind of cool actually. Now I don't really use Noel, so I don't really want this item, but this would be great for synergy and doing Sid missions if you don't have a proper support character. I mean, even Sid Reigns can use 4-star support abilities, and Noel can't even use 1-star, so interesting mechanics giving a ability to a character that is outside of their normal archetype. Now for the flame fossil, I don't have information for what to draw percent wise on that either. Again, this draw is just so new that I just haven't gotten that information yet. So next is a returning item for Sid Reigns, the Metamorphosis Clause. Attack 89, Magic 128. Small boost to dark damage, constantly in effect, and obviously we know Metamorphosis, it's been around for a little bit. Deal 6 magic, dark and holy attacks to one target, rage the magic of all allies a moderate amount, and defense a small amount, and grant haste and burst mode to the user. Deals more damage if the user is afflicted with doom, so Memento Mori will help boost the damage of this. Sid Reigns is considered to be one of the best, if not the best DPS characters in the game, so this is an item that you will really want if you're trying to get your Sid Reigns competitive for some top DPS. Now the burst commands Shining Moment, deal 4 magic, dark, and holy attacks to one target, and remove the delay from the user's magic attacks for one turn. Lingering Spirit, deal 2 magic, dark, and holy attacks to all targets, temporarily lower the user's resistance a moderate amount, and raise the user's magic a moderate amount. And some of these mechanics are why Sid Reigns is so good. Now he's got the delay removal, so he can just crank damage out pretty quickly, and he's got buffs on himself here all over the place. So he's raising magic and for the whole team, and raising magic for himself, and removing delay from his attacks. So, you know, using Memento Mori to doom yourself and then boost this dark damage, and using this is definitely a great way to pump out a lot of damage. Now I do have percent on this, is about 2.22% chance for this item to drop, so some of the information is starting to trickle out on people's draws here. Next item is Super Soul Break Entrench, the battle standard gloves for snow here. 131 attack, 20 defense. It's a fist weapon. It's pretty interesting that it has defense as well. Your Super Soul Break is 4 physical attacks to one target, temporarily raise the party's critical hit chance a moderate amount, and temporarily counter physical attacks. So this Super Soul Break definitely is going to have its niche uses when you are trying to make technical plays here, and that's really all I have to say about it. It's not terrible, but it's really not what I'm shooting for out of this banner. You have about a 2.22% chance to draw this item as well, so far as what it looks like, you know, from the numbers I'm getting. Again, I don't really use snow, so it's not really my cup of tea. Hopefully I don't get it. Alrighty, now the next item is a Super Soul Break for Noel, the Howling Soul. I actually already have this sword. I pulled it on the last banner where Metamorphosis Claws were featured and Sid Reigns was a much fresher character. Attack 133 here, no bonus effects. Super Soul Break Death Blow, deal 6 instant physical attacks to one target with a high chance to interrupt its pending actions, and remove the delay from user's actions for 2 turns. This is again a good Super Soul Break to use for a technical play, setting yourself up with the delay removal on a future attack, so you know that can be pretty useful, especially if you save up 2 levels of Soul Break. You can, you know, have some high damage or good support abilities if you have Noel's Burst Soul Break as well, ready to go back to back. So again, a more technical Super Soul Break, not terrible, but not really what I'm shooting for in this banner. I do not have the percent chance for that item to drop, but hopefully it's really low. Honestly, it's probably around 2.22%, like the other Super Soul Breaks. So the next item is Reigns Gloves. It's a Super Soul Break Seraphic Ray for Sid Reigns. Attack 89, Magic 124. No bonus effects whatsoever. Super Soul Break, deal 5 magic holy attacks to all targets and temporarily lower their holy resistance. This is not terribly good or useful, but if you're using this, I don't know, preemptively to set yourself up for his Burst Soul Break, or maybe a Overstrike from Paladin Cecil or Orlando or something like that, it could be useful, but honestly that's about the only real functionality I see for this Super Soul Break. I don't know, it's not awful, but it's just something to keep Sid Reigns well mastered, and the plus 10 magic from the mastery bonus never hurts either, I guess. But you really want Metamorphosis Clause over this, 10 out of 10. Your chance to pull these Reigns Gloves is looking like a 4.44% right now, and that just may be because some of this information is so new and fresh, and people are just starting to, make draws and generate that data. But anyway, moving on, the Meteor Blaze is next. It's a bow for Sarah, 81 attack, 129 magic, no bonus effects whatsoever. Super Soul Break Endless Blessings, temporarily raise the magic and mind of all allies a moderate amount and grant them haste. This is kind of like the magic version of Shout for black and white mages. It can be useful if you are running a mage party, if you are going for black or white magic nightmare dungeons and 6-star records. Outside of a mage party, it's not really functional whatsoever, and you're not going to want to use this over Shout. But again, this is the magic version of Shout here. Percent chance to draw this item is about 2.22%, like a lot of the other Super Soul Breaks. Flamebirds we're not going to cover because it was on last banner, and I am going to make probably another 12 pull on this because I really would like that Brightwing staff. So let's go ahead and get that in motion here. Alright, so our 100 gem draw here has been done. Oh my gosh! I just, off the 100 gem draw, what the fuck, are you kidding? What? This has got to be the craziest RNG I've had in the past 2 weeks in this game. I cannot believe I just got the Brightwing staff off of a $1 draw. I feel like a complete idiot now because I just spent $28.99 to get 3,100 gems, and I don't even need the other 3,000 gems for this draw anymore. Now I would like to boost up Sid Reigns, but oh my gosh, man. Wow. That is crazy. At this point, I am not convinced that I should draw on this banner again. You guys, I think that's a sign that I shouldn't draw anymore on this banner. I think that's a sign. Yeah, like a game of blackjack, you guys, I'm gonna have to call it right there. I'm not even gonna draw the 11 draw. I'm gonna save these 3,000 gems for anniversary. That is absolutely absurd that I got the USB off of $1. I still can't really believe that, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Relic Review here on Sunday and our absurdly ridiculous luck. If you guys feel up to it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and throw some comments down in the comments section here. It definitely helps me out, but no worries if you're not a fan of this content. I will be trying to throw something together for second anniversary fest here and get some ducks in a row and provide you guys with some potential good ideas, bad ideas. And I think my first good idea is saving these 3,000 gems for anniversary here so that I don't end up getting 3 flame burges when I've already pulled the USB. So that's it for tonight, guys. As always, I will catch you next time. This is Nazdarachi signing off. Have a good week.